All right, fellow armchair generals. Like I said, we're going to be playing some Armored Brigade for the next 2 hours. I hope you will enjoy it. I sort of pre-set up 2 different scenarios. We're going to, I think, start with the thin red line. And for those of you maybe not terribly familiar, this game is really good simulation of, say, mid to late Cold War going hot. So that's what I really love about this game. So, okay. For this battle, after penetrating the Belgian front line, the task of the Soviet 57th Tank Division was to pivot to the northwest and to take the main road leading to St. Hubert. However, on April 18th, the weather deteriorated and heavy fog setting in. The 10th Panthers Infantry Brigade, I'm sure I'm butchering that, was dispatched from reserve to locate and destroy advancing Soviet armored units. What's that? The 2nd Regiment Carabiners, supported by tanks from the 8th Regiment Lanciers and the 74th Regiment of Artillery in full strength, but much of its equipment was obsolescent, at least for the expected task of frontal engagement with significantly more advanced foe. However, the various obstructions provided by various variations in terrain, elevation, vegetation, and buildup areas can block or inhibit capacity of an advantage of firepower. We're going to be trying to use some of those. Exploring the terrain gives opportunities to mitigate the effects of sensors and firepower through such techniques as using cover, camouflage, dispersal, reduce ability of the enemy. Okay, so we're going to go back to the main menu because I have spent time setting up my initial, hey Lancer, good to have you here, my initial deployments. Not that their deployments are bad at the start of this, but I just figure I will give mine. So we have a lot of this. I have, you can see the green sort of crosses there are target registration points for artillery. And yes, I've sort of blatantly moved all my troops up to sort of the front of the start line. But there's still a lot to do. I'm a micromanager, a bit more than I think the game is designed for. I guess it goes back to my days of playing, miniature tank battles, of moving these things around on the board. So I like to do that. All right, so let's start this. We're going to let this play at normal speed at the start here. And we can see the various units. Milan carrier. Okay, let's pause. I'll explain a little bit what's going on. This unit's going to dash down along this road. Don't know if it's going to get there in time, but it's going to dash down this road and try to secure that point. This armored unit's going to move over here and try. Oh, we already got some action coming. Trying to secure here. Okay, also want to show here. Okay, this is, love this feature here. This is the isometric view of the terrain. And want to explain. So I want to put a tank unit in here to try to slice through visually. We can go back to here with their line of sight. We can see, trying to, ambush, if you will, units coming around this way towards that point. But we can see here, and you can see the trees and such, so we need to move up to secure here and here, as well as over here. And so although this is a meeting engagement, we have specific objectives to hold. We're moving another armored platoon along over here to do a similar sort of, not quite as good job. We have some of these Kanonjag Panzers that we're moving up. Now, as you can see, then I have it as Pathfind Quick. wanted it to come from here to here, and it's thinking, and I'm not saying it's wrong, the road is going to be the fastest, so it's going to follow the road. Sometimes I've micromanaged the path a bit more, sort of forcing it along certain paths. These guys are going to go over to here. Okay, so just wanted to sort of give you an idea of plans, but let's look down here. Okay, we're gauging. What is this? Okay, PT-76. Let me see, another one back there. Okay, these are Scimitars. They are made by Avis, and they are a three-manned light tracked armored reconnaissance vehicle with, as you can see here, a 30mm Rardin cannon. Pretty decent cannon. That's the only one that I know, at least in the British service, they were the main user of the vehicles. Still in service. We also have, here before they all die, some will be dying for sure. There's another, this is a Scorpion. It has a 76mm low pressure gun. Not very good for tanks, for sure. Their hollow charge round wasn't very good. This is a Spartan. It carries, I think, a 4-man squad in back, and that's the 4-man squad there. So it's a very small APC, and this is the Striker. It carries, oh yeah, swing fire missiles, 5 of them. Those are ATGMs. So we can see here its line of sight. It's hopefully trying to cut off things moving through this area, this approach. So those, I'll list them up over here. Another Spartan, another Scorpion, are our sort of frontline reconnaissance, and we've already lost one. Hey Nagaro, good to have you here, and Ares here as well. This is a meeting engagement between Belgian forces and Soviet invasion on the Belgian frontier. I forget the date that it was basically set up as. I would say late 80s from the equipment. So right now there isn't a lot for me to do. Okay, that looks like a BTR 80. Okay, well, yeah, a BDRM, I guess, maybe. Got killed there. So right now I've sort of set the battle up, and it's the units are pathfinding and moving forward. You know, what it thinks it's best. Sometimes they wander off the road. I hope to not have too many traffic jams, but there is some. Having all the units advance as opposed to like this, we could have it move fast, or scout move or move to contact, but we have it advance. That way it's moving relatively quick, but it's looking for targets of opportunity, and we'll engage them. Where like fast is basically sprinting, you know, obviously in a vehicle. Reverse, we'll have it back up, and that would be good for a tank to keep its frontal armor to the enemy while withdrawing. We'll allow that. I don't know why it doesn't like someone's name here, I think. Belgium is fighting the Soviets. Sounds like the Allies already... Yep, they've already been pushed back. Hello. Vetika Studios, good to have you here. I hope I present your game well. They are the developers of Armored Brigade. So I'm using the scouting forces as a delaying action. Some of the units I have as SOP to hold fire, so that they will, unless they're taking fire or being, discovered, they won't shoot, so that they're there as spotters. Others, like this unit here, and here, this should be, I should have it on that. That's what I meant. Okay, well, I didn't change those. So that instead of firing at max range, you'll fire at effective range. What they consider effective firing. Thank you. Enemy ground units spotted. Okay, so they're spotting some wheeled vehicle moving forward. What are we shooting at over here? Okay, a BDRM-2. And so, like I say, these guys are on advance and not dash, so if they see a target like that, they will engage it. Don't worry, there will be stuff for me to do once I figure out where and when to try to drop artillery. We have some artillery here. I guess we don't have any artillery here. Oh no, we do. Fire mission, guns, new mission here. That's right. Boy. So we do have some off-map artillery as well as some on-map mortar. So we have that, and we'll have to tell them to get out of their APCs at the appropriate time. This is purely a tactical game in the aggro, not a strategic game. So I don't think they have any tactical nukes set up in this. Okay, so we're seeing a wheeled vehicle, probably BTR or something like that. And I also love this feature, so we can see here it's sort of field of fire, and that's sort of what I set up. I wanted to watch this road, sort of this approach in through here. We should be getting some units in closer here that will occupy that square, that objective area. And this Scorpion killed it. Hey Pixel, how you doing? So this force is moving here. We can see here there's a bit of a ridge that they're going to come up on over, and I sort of wanted to avoid this central area here because I figured it would be a bit much of a target of opportunity for the advancing Soviets to see the movement. Well, yeah, the main weapon at like around this time was the Lance ballistic missile that was on a unarmored tracked vehicle that was sort of a tactical nuclear missile deployed. I think that was the main one that the Americans were using at the time. Okay, so these guys here have made it to where I wanted them to be in the vehicle. We can see here their line of sight is very bad, and that is to give them cover, because what we want to do here is unload them, because for most of these vehicles, now this one does have a 25mm autocannon, so that vehicle is rather powerful. Not that the 50 cals here, the 12.7s, aren't effective against thin-skinned vehicles. They are, but maybe not the best at it. Okay, so that's a pretty good sort of looking at these guys, their positioning and frontage, as it were, here. Okay, now this guy, he's made it to his spot. Yeah, we want, okay. And yes, I know I'm a bit more of a micromanager. So we're going to turn, and okay, these guys there, it looks like they're, so hopefully they will engage targets moving up through here. Okay, they're still advancing. They're almost to their point. They're almost to their point. Okay, that we're using the Belgian Leopards. Yeah, let's add another waypoint to here once they get over there. Okay. Hey, John Kaminsky, how you doing? Okay, there's a T-64, one of the sort of elite Soviet tanks. No damage from light fire. No, that isn't light fire there. Probably another one. Probably another one. Yeah, I just don't play this game. Maybe, I don't know if enough is the right term, or as much as I might like, because obviously there's a lot of bright, shiny, okay, they've got a reconnaissance vehicle there. Bright, shiny possibilities to play. Don't I have an APC? Maybe I didn't. Okay, you're going to there, you're going to there. You're going to change tasking, I think. Let's delete last waypoint. Let's move to here. Go. We need to get an occupy the square. Looks like close combat series, but way more intense. Well, when you mention intense, that is the way I feel about this. Is also, it's hauntingly realistic for me, because I was in Army ROTC, that's Reserve Officers Training, and this adds and sort of trained for this sort of period in time and this sort of warfare. So it's hauntingly realistic for me. Okay, they've knocked out one of these Milan carriers already before it got into position. Damn. Okay, here we want to rotate to this way, so you're looking in the right direction. Yeah, a lot of moving parts. Artillery, air support. We have some CAS, close air support for Mirage and Alpha jets. Timing of those for me in this is always a bit, difficult. Timing when and where to launch them. Okay, these guys now, we're going to unload them, give them orders, and yes, if you sort of follow through the chain of command, in this game, things happen faster. Uh-oh, they took this guy out. Okay. That is not good news. Okay. Hello, guys. Once you get to your location, get your troops out. Yeah, these guys are still on the move. Hopefully they'll get to their place in time. Oh, Beam Salam. This is the Belgians, a meeting engagement between the Belgians and the Soviets. I think sometime in the 80s. I think it does say at the beginning of the scenario, but I forgot to pay attention to that part. But Cold War. Yeah, okay. So we want to order these guys to move up here on foot. Not exactly. Okay, well, let's figure out. Like I say, I'm a bit of a micromanager on this, so okay, that's maybe about where we want them to come to. Yeah, that looks maybe even better. But maybe in the trees, yeah. Okay, so like I say, as an old yeah, that's pretty good there. Old miniature wargamer, the ancient past, I sort of want to play this like that. What we want to do? Yeah, there we go. Want to play it like that. Don't know how much use the infantry will be back here. Just sort of hoping they'll be able to put some fire on. Positions in sort of an overwatch capacity. As we can see, sort of from the isometric view. Okay, where are we? These are back here. And we're moving them up to the ridge line along here to overwatch down into there. Yeah, I don't play tabletop wargame just for various reasons, but the, if you will, the computer wargames like this have, you know, scratched that itch well enough for me. Like this. And so, generally speaking, if you're done with your major movement, I'm not saying absolutely, but generally speaking, if you're done with your major movement, you want to get your infantry out of their APCs or infantry fighting vehicles, either one. Should have lead poisoning because of all those. Yes, micro tanks. Oh God, yes, I played those. Now I mostly played. I did end up buying at a sale a bunch of modern micro armor and played that some too. But mostly what I was buying in micro armor, and you know, as a kid, you got a limited budget, was World War II stuff. And for any of these kind of things, World War II will always be my first love. That doesn't mean I don't want to play other periods. In fact, I do want to play other periods. Okay, these guys. Yeah, this is also here. If you can see here, I have these in cover so that they can get there, hopefully, and they so far have, without being destroyed. So we see like the one Malayan carrier, was destroyed on approach. And that guy was destroyed here, and I think that may also have been, what is that? Yeah, that was another APC that decided to pathfind around there and got killed. Probably because I had him somewhere over in here and he decided to go up around that way. Yeah. Who is that line of sight from here? Okay, that's good. That's sort of watching in through there. They can, like if they lose morale, they can, you know, retreat and whatnot, but otherwise they will follow orders as appropriately as you've given them. Okay, so we're engaging some tanks, not quite sure if they're more T-64s or what, way out here. Destroyed. And we can again sort of line of sight from these vehicles. We can see that sort of they've got areas of well, ridges to hide behind if they so chose, or they expose themselves. And one of the keys to how good is his line of sight? Oh, maybe I want to move him. No, that's pretty good. Is the key to this, as I see it, is to get into a position like this and get them to expose one or two vehicles at a time, and then have multiple vehicles target them, tanks, land carriers, and destroy them. Yeah, so yeah, line of sight is, like I say, you have the isometric view here, which gives you a good idea, and like I say, I don't, oh, height, there it is. You can, we also you have a height gradient. Obviously, the darker brown is higher, the green is lower. That's not a vegetation thing. And then the line of sight, where you can click on basically on a square here, and get a reasonably good line of sight, which will be affected by smoke and other capabilities. So yeah, this map is displayed here as a sort of a 2D map, if you will, but really is 3D. You sort of get the hints of it, but okay, these guys are now out. They've got the orders, and it takes a while, like I say, for the orders to get there, and I'm not. Okay, now I think I wanted to move these guys to like here in these trees. Okay, yeah, it takes a while for them to, because I'm micromanaging them, and I do have at least an attempt at realistic command and control delay, I guess is what would be the best term for it. Advance to these sort of thicker trees there. Yeah, that should give some fire for them approaching close into here. Okay, these guys are now out. We're going to have them advance into the building, so they're not just hanging out outside. Yes, there are, and we have not been using the mortars yet. Okay, so you can see here the HQ that gives its command radius for that HQ. I've tried to move them up to some degree. I didn't want them too far forward to get destroyed. Another HQ here. We can see command radius. That's an HQ and a leopard. Don't know. Okay, was he supposed to stop there? Is that a, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's he's a line of sight for vehicles approaching from through that area. Okay. Unload. Load. Unload. Is there another one back up here? Okay, you. Rotate. I keep doing it. Different games have different clicking regiments. So, okay. You're supposed to watch for units coming here. You need to unload as well. Yeah, you're pretty decent facing. So yeah, and so I have tried to pay attention to the HQs and their positioning, but instead of trying to send orders through them as much as I probably should, I don't. Is there even knocked out? Is there even an option here? I'm not quite sure. The question. I do know that a unit can be out of. Okay, you guys need. Okay. I'm gonna give you an unload order here. Yeah. Okay, troops. Well, since. Troops here. You come here since nobody's made it there alive yet. You come there. You're still alive there. This has not been my best move here. Okay, also delete last waypoint. You can move to there, hopefully stay alive. That's been a bit high on the attrition. That we may have a problem there. We do have a decent kill zone up here, okay. BMP up here, that. Yep, there we go. Knocked out. With a 25mm gun. Okay, they're putting artillery in here, which isn't going to maybe be good for these guys that are going to get orders to move, but okay, another T-64 moving up into the. See, this is what I hope for, is the idea that they come into these kill zones and just get hammered from multiple targets, multiple locations. Not possible to lose radios. Okay, good to know. Some BMPs moving up here. These guys again have been told not to fire, just to hide in the bushes. Let me know what's going on. Okay, the artillery, I guess, or something took out that APC. I'm sure I could look in the feed and figure it out, but hopefully they'll move in and occupy that. Square. Keep wanting to call it a hex. I know it isn't hexagonal. I'm used to objective hexes. Term. Okay. Enemy tracked vehicles, and we know officially that got knocked out. Some mistakes were made. We've lost some vehicles. For sure. Do you have any good line of sight here? Let's see. I'm up that way. Okay, well. I think we will leave you right where you're at for the moment. I'm mostly worried about down here. These guys. They're confident they have one casualty and they're suppressed by fire from him gathering. And he has not moved into... okay, you... advance to the thick trees. Have not moved into their line of sight. Let's just check this. Yeah, not yet. Have these guys line of sight? Not yet. Oh, so close. Okay, these guys are out now. Good. Okay. We'll just try to get them somewhere useful. Just trying to use cover. I'm not. We'll get them up there and then see if we want to change their position from line of sight. Don't know if we should move them up through the fields. Oh yeah, they have some smaller battles that are nice. I almost went with, I also have another one set up either if we run out of time on this. I mean, we still have more time after this is done, or what? I do have another one prepped. It's a bit of a smaller battle. Okay, now I've not seen enough. Oh, they died. Okay, this has been a bit of a failure for me. But now he's moving. Is he moving? I don't know. Okay, they're dropping artillery on us, which is not nice. Okay, now they're getting hit. This guy's too far forward. He should have stopped back here and sent the troops up that way. Learn from my mistakes. Yeah, there are various meeting engagements in the sort of pre-planned scenarios. I have not looked at. I know they're okay. You guys just advance into the building. Into the building. Yeah, hopefully that will get you into the building. Let's move up in the fields there as a supporting position. There are user-made or whatever, I forget what they are specifically called, missions as well. I have not looked at them, so that there might be something. Oh, there's also campaign modes. Yes, absolutely. I think it's like 4 campaigns. These guys are moving up to the positions. We can see how they're pathfinding. We're getting artillery, so they're probably should, yeah, just sort of stay where they are. These, okay, these guys are... Well, I wouldn't have picked coming out and around and back to there. These guys still, yeah, okay, they should be unloading as well. And so should these guys have already. These guys should have been too. I've been derelict. Okay, let's look at line of sight for that. Yeah, that's a sort of a good pump. Looking that way. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. BMP, something else there. That's what these scouts are good for. They're letting me know where going on. So now these guys, they're leaving because of morale failure. Nervous, 3 casualties from artillery. We'll see what happens when these guys, especially these guys, I think are told not, to hold fire, not to expose themselves unless they must. So this will engage, I believe. Yeah, effective fire range. And that one got destroyed by him. Very good. Scorpion. It's possible to generate any kind of engagement very quickly. Oh yeah, there's also a dynamic generation scenario. Capability or editor or whatever you want to call it. Generator. Boy, I'm not speaking well. Yeah, to generate scenarios. I didn't want to use that for one of the live plays like this. Yeah, I don't know that I would have picked that route, but okay. Okay, so they're coming through. Troops are coming out of the woods, getting fired on. Trust me, I get the idea of advancing and pushing into the enemy as a commander. Obviously, it's necessary. I mean, that isn't what I'm talking about. But I really like to do this type of situation, whether I'm purely on the defensive or I'm even being somewhat aggressive. Like this, something of a meeting engagement that we have objectives that we need to hold. Because Belgium is on the strategic defensive, the Soviets are on the strategic offensive here. But like to get set up, move into a position, get set up, and then ambush the enemy. Because again, here we can see with the isometric. Okay, let's come over here. They're getting fire from somewhere back in here, firing up on this frontal hillside here, but these guys are behind it and hopefully going to ambush them. At least that was my plan. Just because that doesn't show up well on the straight overhead. Because yeah, this is where they think that I might be, and I'm putting fire on over this ridge. But yeah, okay, there you go. Is my ambush going to work here? Even with all the losses, mostly from moving into place. One down. And he's looking the wrong way. He's maybe figuring out the other guy got fired from the other side, moving his turret around, and he died. That is just what was designed to happen there. And I know I haven't used my artillery either, So I haven't seen enough of a concentration that I want to focus on. And I'm not just, at the moment at least, presuming. Okay, an AA gun just died. 23mm AA gun, 4-barrel. Now here's a bunch of units out here. And on the defensive, okay, T-55 tank, it's a bit older. I want to sort of stall the enemy at a location and then pound them with artillery. When I'm on the offensive, like the Soviets are here, I want to sort of use the artillery like they are. Put it at suspected positions out in front, maybe put smoke out in front of the target, and then aggressively move in against the target. Don't know what that is. These guys are... okay, that's still working here. Okay, I'm curious what's going to happen here as they come around one of our burning vehicles. He still has 17 shots. He has 18 shots. He's looking in the right direction. Oh, he's been hit. No damage. Oh. Okay. Okay, T-55s. Stationary vehicles should do a lot better than than moving and hitting and killing. They may get this square. Yep, they got him already. So he is. Come on, take the shot, take the shot, take the shot. Oh, you fired. There we go. Okay, wow, this happened a lot faster than I thought. Good thing I had the other one prepped. So, battles reaching show after action report. Okay, yes. Okay, major victory. Wow. Okay, so even with our holding of, or not holding, actually staying neutral at one square, and losing a lot of, most of my losses seem to be at that advance down on the south side of the map. We lost 32 troops and 24 vehicles. They lost 77 troops and 46 vehicles. So we're going to view the replay. Okay, so we can, okay, pause. We can see our advance up into here, getting into position. Yeah, we can see all these losses in here of our advance there, and that guy coming up. Let's go back. Yeah, I didn't want him to pathfinder around there. So that tells me need to micromanage the pathfinding a little bit more. Yeah, no, they don't block. And so, okay, we get into there. We're killing a lot of them over here. We've had a few losses here, including the Milan carrier there. And no, I didn't use any of the artillery. Didn't have enough concentrated location that I wanted to shoot at. And didn't use any of the airstrikes. Again, didn't have a sufficient target. Okay, well, I don't know if that's too easy or what, or I don't think I'm that particularly brilliant or anything, but that's just the way I would be. I spent an hour or two giving the orders to position all the vehicles and movement paths before this. because I didn't want you to sit there and watch me go really slowly through all this. And so, well, I wouldn't want to say he wouldn't have lost. XTRG is pretty good. Oh yeah, no, there's burning wrecks do block some movement. Okay, so burning wrecks do block some movement. Now again, if you look at the whole idea is the squares as we see over here are larger than what would take up for a vehicle. And I do believe burning wrecks will also block vision as well. The smoke does, you can see that in the line of sight. And I definitely noticed early on when moving through some of the towns, there was a bit of a traffic jam for vehicles. 2 or 3 vehicles were trying to use the same section on the road at once, and that was slowing things down. And so, like I said, I set up a couple of hours, and don't worry, I've got another mission pre-set up, so we'll get to that in just a moment. We're not over here, not done at all. So I spent that time setting up, and I wondered, am I over micromanaging? Well, yeah, but also, if I was a Belgian commander, I would know this terrain very well. Trust me, if I was a Belgian, unit commander at this size, I would be driving all over Belgium and planning out my battles. I don't know if most Belgian mid or upper level officers drive around Belgium doing that during the Cold War, but I would have been. And so I would have had a good idea of where I wanted to deploy soldiers to defend in this area. I would have known the area, even if I didn't live, in these villages. 2, I'm sort of, because again, my miniature wargame experience is sort of, I'm micromanaging the placement. Not so much I'm looking at it as from the commander's viewpoint, like the commander saying, you park your tank right here. No, it's not really that. It's more like, well, if I was a tank driver or a platoon commander, telling these are 3 tank platoons, telling the other 2 tanks in the platoon where to park your tank to get ready for the ambush. Yeah, where's your line of sight? Where's your cover? Get in fire supporting, because like these 2 tanks that survived down here, they were set up along with supposedly these other 2 here to fire support each other, so that they were in mutual fire support, and these guys were to crossfire from the other way and whatnot. So I'm micromanaging a lot in getting the units into place. But I'm figuring that would be the what the people, the smart people that are commanding the tanks and the squads would be doing. Hey, Kushan Gaming is on the same grade. They expect, yes, commanders probably knew Leyland, better than their hometown. Yeah, so that's why I'm taking, even though this is a meeting engagement, I would as this battle commander would have, and I did keep platoons together. You move your platoon here, you move your platoon here. I would be marking them out on the map, and everybody would know where their platoon was to sort of go, and then position themselves. So that's what I would be doing.